you're a scumbag fighter. Hublot is a premier brand. They've got clean athletes. How do you end up with this on your wrist?
Well, okay. So you're sort of right where the image of a MMA fighter usually would be more like that. That people are going to think like that.
Dan Hooker's never getting it.
But I mean, the more fighters I meet, like most of them are obviously very respectful, good guys. But you're going to be seen with fighters saying some things, as we'll know, some things that's been happening the last couple of weeks. They're going to do some things, do some crazy stuff, which sort of will make some people look at that and be like, oh, yeah, MMA fighter, that's about right. But I've always felt like I've been a little bit different, where I've always just been myself and been a pretty respectful guy. And I didn't really change for nobody. I didn't feel like I had to be disrespectful and all that sort of. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's entertaining. Like, I don't mind it. But that's just never been me. And I'm glad that I was able to do that and still make it work. Yeah. So, like, I could still be in the position I am, and I didn't have to change for it. And it's all paying off now, especially when you're getting deals like this, you know what I mean? So you're obviously working with companies that look at me as someone they want to work with. Yeah. So, that's saying something. So it means a lot.
I think it's also cool, right? Because you said about the guys who trash talk and stuff like that. Like, that's all well and good as long as it's true to who you are. Mm-hmm. When you see people putting it on, you can sort of see through it. So the fact that you got to stay true to who you are, guy like just yourself, normal family man, and still get the big flashy deals.
And that's what I mean. That's what sort of I mean. So I'm not saying they're not being who they are.
Yeah.
But like you said, like I got to be who I am, which is not really the blueprint to success. Like, let's be real. Like, everyone wants you to talk trash, call people out, do all this sort of stuff. And I get it. But, maybe here and there said some things, did some things, but not too much. I'm not like that. And I was able to build my brand just through cooking steaks and just being a bit of a larrikin and having a laugh, you know what I mean? So, and just being myself, being respectful. And the one thing I do love about it is the fans are loyal, you know what I mean? They can relate so much because I am just a normal bloke that from down the road. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really am that guy. One of he just feels like, it's like one of the boys, one of my mates, you know what I mean? And it is, I'm going to treat everyone the same. Just, that doesn't really get to my head. I forget who I am half the time. I'm walking down the street and someone will be like, oh, hey, man, what's happening? I'm like, I think I know him from school. And then they're like, oh, no, big fan. I'm like, oh, yeah, fighting. You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck, I am famous.
Yeah, so it's a bit like that. So it's, but I mean, it's cool. It's good to see it all starting to pay off.
It's funny, right? Because I feel MMA is such a weird sport, like Israel, obviously, this weekend and stuff. It's like the moment you've achieved so much in this sport that you start really getting appreciated and getting your flowers is usually the sort of time you might have a change in fortune. It's just like a weird sport in the way it works. Like, you have to work so hard. People never get, like, I remember used to get booed all the time at press conferences and shit like that. And now it's like, okay, oh, well, he's lost a couple now, so now he's like a hero. Do you know what I mean? It's like a weird sport in that regard.
It is. Like, there's obviously there's a Max Holloway sort of, this guy coming through and taking away everyone's favourite fighter, taking him out. So, like, a lot of people didn't like that. And then obviously you had that close fight that everyone was carrying on about. So that was a tough time because I'm a nice guy. Like, I'm never trying to offend anybody. I'm not the type of guy to offend anyone. And why does everyone hate me? What have I done? It was very, very hard for me to understand. I didn't really get the whole social media sort of thing. I'm just from a small town. Obviously, it is new. Social media is new to the world. And I'm just like, where's this hate coming from? I've never really had this before. Like, and I'm not that guy. It should be like, I don't do anything to have people hate me. I feel.
It's a bit like when Daniel Cormier got booed against John Jones.
It's
like, Daniel's a nice one.
Yeah, he's the one who's yeah. But yeah, it is. But that's just how, man. And then I've always fought in America against, local fighters and all that. So that's just how it is.
It's funny. It's funny you said about you.
But I don't think it was from really the losses though. But I mean, I think that third fight with Max was sort of ended that where that was ever like, oh, okay, all right, we get it now. And then you had the Islam fight, which I think was another real step up. And then a couple of me doing the backups and man, this bloke's just, And then, it was losses, but I feel like, the real appreciation's coming now.
Yeah. I feel like for you, for me, I remember after the Ortega fight, he's got more respect for the guillotine and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Holloway fight, obviously the domination in the third fight. And then I think it was, no one really had hopes for you against Islam. You had your performance you did. And then that took you to great. And then I think the stepping in Abu Dhabi was what took you to legendary status.
Yeah.
But it's funny you said about you fighting Max and he was like everyone's favorite. I didn't realize this until Los Angeles just now. Islam's music, the drums, he started coming out and my heart started going, and I realized it's because every time I hear that song, one of my favorites gets hurt like right after.
Oh, okay,
it's like you, Charles, Dan. I was like, oh shit, this guy's giving me PTSD. But we're here.
It's a bit like that. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
We're here in Sydney, and you're around Topuria, but you're not fighting him.
You haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him, but I mean, we're cool. You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious we're cool. Whether if that's fighting, he's going to start doing the trash talking again and all that, like whatever. I don't know, but I don't think he needs to do that sort of stuff now. I think he's proved himself, and everyone's like, all right, he's got that respect, so he probably doesn't need to play that game as much. But it works. So it's like I said, some people play that. He was pretty good at it. I feel like he was still pretty good at it. But it can go real badly for you or really well.
Yeah.
He got the big finishes on top of talking like that, and it worked for him, you know what I mean? So I don't feel like he really needs to go down that route, but if he does, whatever.
It's a fun one,
no
right?
worries, mate.
No, you're right. You can talk all you want. Old man Volk's coming back. The interesting thing about your teammate, his brother fighting, it's very rare that you make a UFC debut with a built-in narrative. That I always feel like Colby and Alexander is like almost more interested in some of the main card fights, just in terms of the storyline. For you, do you see it as obviously you want your teammate to succeed, but do you see it as an opportunity for you to sort of also help push that narrative to get this fight over the line and sign?
So that's for everyone else, right? Like it's for the cameras, it's for the fans. Like you said, it's a narrative. It gets it exciting. But everyone wants to see what happens there. A few more eyes than you normally would for people on their debut. So that's great, and that's great for Colby. Because all these eyes on you, you're going to have myself in the corner, Craig Jones, Ilia Topuria. You got like obviously the...
Craig's here. I thought you said you stopped drinking.
Huh?
Craig's
here. He's I'm committed to it, and no alcohol for me. So, but yeah, so we're going to have some big dogs in the corner, as well. It's pretty cool. And then the whole narrative behind Ilia's brother and me and Ilia and I, sorry. So it's crazy, but all the hype, all the eyes is a big opportunity for these guys.
Yeah.
So it's great. So Colby understands that. He's like, oh, what? Yeah, let's get this.
Yeah.
Get the eyes on me, so I can capitalize on this. And I'm sure Topuria is thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We can go there, all this hype. I go out there and get a big finish. People are talking.
Yeah. It seems to me with Ilia, out of the two of you, I'm trying to be respectful to you here. Out of the two of you, you're committed, you're ready, give me the date, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I hear him talk, it's like, maybe Volk, I'd rather not. Lightweight, Islam, that's what I want. But if the UFC tell me to do Volk, then we'll do Volk. It's sort of, he just doesn't seem as committed to this fight as you do. Mm-hmm. Is that the vibe you're getting from it, and with the conversations you're having with the promotion?
That is, it's pretty obvious that's what's going on. Like, I would have had something locked in if that was the case. At least even, we don't know. Obviously, it's meant to be Ilia. I know he's pushing for the lightweight. Whether they're trying to make that happen, I don't know. So maybe he's training, preparing for a big fight either way, but he's just not sure which one that is.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, he's getting stuck in it. Well, I don't know how big his camps usually are. I've seen some photos. He looks like he's in decent shape. So I thought he usually, I've heard that he gets pretty big, or that's what they say. He usually gets pretty big, but he didn't look.
They said he gets to 195, but I've been around it, and I don't.
He's not.
Doesn't strike me as a guy who gets.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's because I know he wants. He probably not having a knock at him. He won't fight as regularly as myself or Easy World champions, and you can't expect all Pereira, right? Like you don't get many fighters that are champions that are going to be that active. So you can't expect it from them. So maybe it's just like, all right, so I can have reasonable breaks. I need time. I don't know.
Do you think, you mentioned about the activity, right? At some point, though, for you, like this is your career that you want to be active, you want to be competing. How long do you have to wait before you think, fuck, maybe I have to let this guy just do whatever and I have to focus on myself and just get another fight in?
Well, It's sort of is there where I'm just like, obviously I want that rematch, but I mean, I just want to fight for the belt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and get a contender.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's not fighting, interim, whatever, or if he's literally moving up to lightweight, like I have heard this, but he just, I'm done with.
Yeah.
I'm done with Feather. You know, like whether he's just saying these things, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, for me, it's all right. It's getting to a point now where I'm like, I've waited long enough. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
you know, and as I said, I'm committed now. I'm training hard, and I'm doing a pre-camp camp. You know, for whenever that fight is locked in, I'm locking in. No alcohol till then. Get stuck into it because I really want to get into camp in good nick. I don't want to peak 2 weeks out and be light and fast right then. I want to be light and fast through camp. I want to be training, sparring the whole time, sharp and on the money. And I want to have a good standard through camp, so I want to bring that standard up.
Yeah, Bo Nickel announced that you were fighting in April. I don't know if you're allowed to say, but is that a date in mind that you have the Miami card in April?
I mean, like you're seeing that everywhere. Obviously, that's they're the dates that I would like, that we would like. I would have liked earlier, but it is around that time. But I mean, honestly, I can tell you now, like nothing's locked in, so we don't know. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking what Ilia is saying, this uncertainty. I mean, the UFC must be talking to him, and that is the case from what I'm getting, and not giving too much away. That's, it's pretty obvious what's going on. I think they're trying to make something happen. They don't know. So is it going to be a Lopez? Is it going to be a Lopez and myself fight for a vacated belt, fight for interim, or is it going to be me and Ilia and I? I don't know.
Yeah. Do you, you're, as we were talking at the beginning of this, you're a chill guy. You don't take any of this too seriously, I feel like, in terms of the dynamics you have with your opponents. But he did have you in the cage and did say you deserve a rematch and he would like to give it to you. Does any part of you sort of, not judge him, but look at him a bit sort of differently because he's going back on that word?
Not really, because he's not saying he wants to fight. He's made it clear that if he fights at featherweight, it's me. So he just wants to do the lightweight thing, and if the UFC want to do that, he wants to do that, and and Islam's going to do that. All right, I'm not going to sit there and stop a man from having a massive opportunity like that. Like I know if that opportunity was given to me at any time, I would have did it. I didn't ask for it till I thought was the right time.
Right.
But yeah, he wants to commit to it. If they make it happen, good on it. But I mean, if not, let's fight. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to wait around. Yeah. So that's how it is. So there's no malice there. Like, I totally understand what he wants to do and where he's going with it. He's still young, maybe doesn't want to rush things, but yeah, let's keep things moving.
You're going to have to hit him with the chair in the cage after this week.
Just go full WWE.
You'll book it like that. Let's talk about Israel. Came up short against Nasruddin the weekend. I felt unbelievable.
I thought he was looking great too.
Yeah,
he was looking great. He had a great camp. I only got to see a bit of it. His last fighter, because I thought it was only early round, right? It was the second round.
It was the second round when he got done.
Yeah, but I mean it was early. But I even felt like you were going to start to see Izzy start tiring him out even more because Izzy was fit.
Yeah.
And when I say that, and I still say that, look, he lost, and I'm still saying it. That was the fittest I've ever seen him.
Yeah.
I've never seen him do a spider like that. That was a legit spider.
Yeah.
And he looked great. Like, it's weird because people are going, oh, he's done. I was like, how could you watch that and say he's done?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, he still looks great. It's just like, it's just, I don't know. It's a game.
MMA shit. MMA shit.
I mean, that's why we love it too, right? Yeah. It's a crazy, I always said it, even when I showed him, man. Even Eve said it, man. I love this crazy game. He said that, he goes, man, that's how I always said it. It's like, the crazy game we play, you know what I mean? This is just the crazy game we choose to play. We chose it, so we can't cry about it, you know what I mean? And I know about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was pound for pound and then got knocked out twice in a row. You know what I mean? That's how quickly, whoa. And I get it. Now everyone's going to be, you got no chance.
Yeah.
Of coming back. Well, all right, whatever. Like, there's only, and Ilia's going to think he's unstoppable, and he's going to think that there's no chance of me winning. And he has every right to think that till I show him different. Yeah. And that's what I plan on doing.
Do you remember when he lost to Islam in the first fight, that really close fight in Perth? You said you almost wanted a rematch more than getting a shot at the lightweight belt. You really wanted that. Do you feel the same about Ilia? Is it like I want to get that rematch, or is it like no, I want to cement myself as another champion?
That's a good question. I would have told you earlier on it was a rematch.
Yeah.
But now that I've been waiting a while, just give me a fight, you know what I mean? So it's weird. So like I've always said, yeah, I want that rematch. Obviously, I want the rematch. But I was like, why would I fight someone else? Even if like I was here in interim was getting thrown around earlier on, and I'm like, what's the point of doing that? If I could wait another month or two and fight Ilia, like you know what I mean? So you could see that I didn't care too much about that. I wanted Ilia.
Yeah.
Where now it's like, maybe he does want to move up, and maybe I'm not fighting him anytime soon. I want to fight.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with the fact that I'll go there, win the interim or vacate a bit, whatever. If he chooses to go up, we move up and fight while I'm champion. And even fight's even bigger now.
Yeah.
So all right, whatever. So
I was going to say, if he does,
so you got to have a positive thinking. You got to look at, obviously the rematch would have been great earlier, but we can make it work either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I still think it's one of the biggest fights in the sport they can make. Obviously, him and Islam is massive.
That's huge.
Yeah. That. You fought both of them. I'll be honest, in my opinion, I respect the fact that he wants to go up and try and get that belt, but I don't imagine Ilia to be as freakishly strong as you. And so that move, and I don't think he's a particularly big featherweight. Really,
yeah.
So I don't know how his strength will translate against Islam. How do you see that fight if it was to happen?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like he's saying, like he'll submit Islam and all that. I don't think he really sees that. I think, but he's got hands, man. Like he's got powerful hands, and he can catch anybody. Yeah. So I see that like he could catch Islam, 100% he could. But I feel like that's the only way he's beaten him. Mm-hmm. And the same as like with me, that's how I've always seen it. The only way I'm getting beaten if someone finishes me, catches me. You know what I mean? That's how I've always seen it. Like the only person that can get it close would be someone like Islam. Heavier division, and someone who's well-rounded and like that good on. He's been grappling and wrestling his whole life and literally works just as hard as me. Yeah. So that's why I've always like, all right, that's where maybe someone can. And I used to think that about Max as well. Max could maybe get, can sort of get me, if he fights the right fight or something like that. I could be worried about him maybe winning rounds and stuff like that, but I can't see anyone else. And that's the same with Ilia. Even after him getting the win, you know what I mean? He's going to think he's got a chance. But I mean, I can see myself going out there and dominating that fight still. But I mean, he's going to be dangerous. I let him put hands on me. I could be going night. You know what I mean? That's just the game we play, especially with a guy that's as dangerous as him. But for him to think he's just untouchable and I'm not going to stand a chance, it's like, mate, like he must know. You don't catch me, you're in for a rough night. You don't catch Islam, you're in for a rough night. Yeah. And that's just that. Yeah. Like I mean, a fight that comes to mind. I don't mean this any, like even, I shouldn't bring him up now. Bryce Mitchell. But I was going to say he was grappling and all that, and he ended up you could see how strong you could see how strong Ilia was early, but then you could still see him start to slow down with Bryce, and then like Bryce, even got him down. I'm like, oh man, I think he's going to slow down, and this isn't looking good. But then he ended up catching him, them dangerous hands he got, and then just whacked him. So it just shows you that even if he does find a bit of adversity, Ilia still will try and find that chin. But if he doesn't, what's going to happen in them later rounds? He hasn't been there. Oh, he has been there not that long ago, but not with the highest level. He's knocked the highest level out, and that's great, and that's very impressive. But we won't know till he goes and does, if he doesn't catch Islam, which is going to be hard. Islam doesn't put himself in many dangerous positions. You're going to have to scramble with this guy. How are you going to do there? Can you catch him? 100%. He can catch anyone. I could see him knocking out some welterweights, you know what I mean? I can see myself beating welterweights too, to be honest with you. Like I've always seen myself, and I think he's that guy that could do that as well. I think he's still fairly strong. He could probably handle himself enough and maybe find the knockout. But, he's someone that I feel like can translate his weight, being a featherweight to some heavier divisions. So I give him that respect. Yeah.
I'll end on this one. Earlier today, Dana did an interview with the Premier of Australia.
Mins.
Yeah. And he was saying that they asked, what about Volk? And he said, Volk's at this stage of his career where what's he got left to prove? Why you don't need to do this. I mean, whatever he wants to do, we'll do. But I think he's at the stage where he doesn't have anything to prove. So to you, I ask, why do you continue? Why do you want to still do this? What's still fueling you?
I mean, I still think I've got a couple left in me. You know what I mean? Like, and I want a couple more. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, I still enjoy it. Like, I'm looking forward, to be honest, that break that I had, I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I am looking forward to finishing it up, but I want one last crack.
Yeah.
One hard crack. Like I said, I'm committed. I'm doing the 1%ers that I didn't really do before, which is funny because most people think of Alex, he does all the 1%ers. And I've always been that guy that went above and beyond when it comes to work ethic. Being in the gym, I will still be very disciplined and do the, luckily I've got a great team around with physios and strength and conditioning where they're going to, you need to be here, you got to do it. All right, I'm going to do it. If I'm told to be there, I'm going to be there. But if I need to do these things myself, like a diet by myself, if I've got Geordie next to me, eat this, all right, I'm going to do it. If I don't, I'm going to be all right here. I'm going to be all right there. Have a few drinks. Nah, it's all right. I can eat drink. I'll drink, 7 weeks out. It's all right. No worries, But now I'm like, you know what? I haven't even had a cheat meal for 3-4 weeks, and I'm not going to till my fight. Yeah. And when I say I'm going to eat good, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I'm just dieting. I'm still going to have some good meals, but I used to go nuts with cheat meals, which I'm just not going to do that. If I get a dessert, I have a little bit. If I'm going to have a steak, I'll have some good meals, but within good reason. Never done that before, so I want to commit to my weight earlier. So this is where I'm going to have them 1%ers. Yeah. So and then it's still early, so I'm going to be in the gym every day and doing everything right this time. And I want to give it, one last crack. It's hard work. So I don't, I'm saying I want to give one last crack, but I don't want to give it too much longer at the same time because my standard isn't easy. You know what I mean? Like, I work hard. It is hard work. I'm going to have to, I really enjoyed that break that I had where I could be myself again, that I felt like I haven't been able to be. Yeah. I was over dad and machine. I'll just say this: machine, Volk, fighter, Volk, whatever you want to call it, and dad. And not the best version of a dad you could be. I still felt like I'm doing a great job considering, but I know I can do more. But I mean, there's a lot of energy and a lot of time that goes into this sport. It is hard work. And that's why I don't want to do that forever either, but I still think I've got a few more left in me. And I want to be that machine again. I will be that machine. I will make them sacrifices again. I won't be, what can I say, myself a Volk. What I said? I said something like that. Be myself again. I'm still going to, let's not be serious. I'm still going to do cooking. We're still going to do that. I'm still going to have fun with it all. But at the same time, a lot of my energy is going into the gym and into this last crack. So I'm going to have to make a lot of sacrifices and stay disciplined and bust my ass. It's going to suck, but I don't mind that. I don't mind it sucking for a little bit longer. And then just set myself, look, I'm in a great position. As Dana said, I don't have anything to prove. I'm in a good position. The family's in a good position like we are, but I could be in even a better position. Yeah. And you know what I mean? I still reckon I've got enough in me where I can I want to be able to sail off in the sunset. A couple more of me really committing to this sport and really capitalising on what I have left, I can really sail off in the sunset. And that's what I want.
From me and my family. What the Volk is cooking.
And you smell a bit of that, bit of everything. Yeah. Acting, you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. But I mean, a lot of family time on the farm, wrestling some cows, whatever. No wrestling cows. I don't think you can even joke about that sort of stuff. I did a thing, this random, but I did the farmer Volk video, and then as I grabbed the cow just a little bit, was like, hey, sometimes you got to wrestle and it got banned. Oh. I was just pretending to do it, like, what I mean? So I was like, maybe I won't throw that joke, especially when I'm wearing
meanwhile,
blue chip company.
Meanwhile, in Dagestan, there's fucking videos of them taking down horses.
Yeah, exactly. But I was just here mucking around too. Yeah. But so the farm life's good. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying it. I want to do that up nice. I want to be able to just really enjoy that. Again, in a great position. I can stop now if I want to, but I don't want to. Yeah. I've still got a bit more left in me, and let's put myself in a better position and really look after my family and sail off in the sunset when I choose to do it.
I think they said you can pay for this with a payment plan if you want to just get that at the till as we leave.
You want me to sort it out for you? I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, you know.
I was going to say, Connor let you borrow one of his watches, mate? You know what I mean?
Literally never. All right, man.
Don't worry, I'll sort you out.
Yeah,